Hey, what's up everybody? Alex here again. Today I'm going to show you a little video, again having to do with the warm-up, okay, because to me the warm-up's pretty important. Why? Because a lot of people make mistakes in the warm-up. I don't mean like missing shots and stuff like that, but they make mistakes which then cost them kind of big in the long run, because the warm-up is a lot of times where you see that players actually get injured, okay? For two reasons. First of all, they don't do an off-court warm-up before they hit the first ball, so they don't actually warm their body up by either just jogging around a little bit or doing a couple dynamic stretches or lunges and stuff like that. I'll have some more videos on what you can do to do that. But today what I want to hit on is kind of when you start hitting the first balls, not to go too big at first. That's a mistake that I see a lot of players make too, and that's how you kind of get injured. Right, if your body's not warm and you start hitting the ball the way you want to be hitting it after 20-30 minutes or something, and your body's feeling good and you're loosened up and you're warmed up and everything, in my experience I've seen that maybe like 75-80% of injuries that I've seen players occur, they incur them in the warm-up, not after running after a super tough ball or anything like that. They do it in the warm-up by just starting and going off a little bit too big. So the two words that I like to summarize for what you're looking for in a warm-up, at least when you're starting to hit the ball, the two words are easy depth. All right, you're going to see this is how the pros warm up. This is how I learned to warm up, and just kind of how to warm up properly. So what do I mean by easy depth? Well, first of all, we're going to be hitting the ball down the middle, and we're looking to just get some depth in our shot. We don't want to be hitting too short, but how are we going to get depth? We want to get it easily, which means just by kind of hitting an easy, nice, fluid stroke, almost a little bit longer follow through than we usually would, where we're not feeling kind of like rushed to get back in position to get ready for the next shot or anything like that. But just taking a lot of time to really just hit through the ball and really feel that ball well on your strings, okay? So that being said, when you're gonna do a warm-up and you're looking for easy depth, another way to get depth too is just to give yourself a little bit of net clearance. That way you don't have to hit the ball too hard or too heavy with any kind of spin or anything like that. Because remember, in a warm-up, what are we trying to do? We're trying to develop a rally so that you can get into a rhythm. All right, and like I said, this is the biggest problem I see with a lot of players, even at pretty good levels. They come out and they start hitting the ball, bang, 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 and there are no rallies, and no rallies equal no rhythm. All right, and if you don't find rhythm in the warm-up, your performance in the match is probably not going to be too great. Okay, so I'm talking about warm-ups for either a practice session and even in a match. All right, I'll do another video maybe on match preparation and everything like that. How before you actually step out into a match, you should have done your kind of warm-up already on the side before you come out and warm up for your match. But even a match warm-up, you're probably going to want to start this way, just by looking for that easy depth. All right, getting used to that feel of the new balls and everything like that. But I'll try not to get too much off topic. Here I'm going to show you a little warm-up I'm going to do with my son. Okay, he's 12 years old, and I'll just show you a little bit what I mean in terms of hitting the ball, of what I mean by trying to get easy depth. Okay, so here we go. Ready? All right, so there you go. So that was a pretty good example, right? See, we got a pretty good rally with just one ball. We each hit at least about 10 or so shots, all right? Obviously, how did the rally end? It's because the ball went in the net, all right? So the last place you want to miss when you're trying to do an easy depth warm-up, last place you want to miss is in the net. I think actually one of my balls actually went a little bit long. If you're going to miss long, all right? Go watch the pros play, go watch them warm up. You're gonna see that in the first 5-10 minutes, you see almost no balls in the net, all right? That's not to say that they don't miss. They might miss a little bit, but if they do miss, it's definitely gonna be long. Not off to the side, and definitely not in the net. And the net is the rally killer, all right? As soon as the ball goes in the net, you can't save it. If it goes off to the side, you can run after it, you can try and get it back in play. If you miss long, you know, the other player can back up a little bit and still play that ball and keep the rally going. The longer the rally keeps going, the better you can develop rhythm, okay? Maybe another thing I'd like to point out, I don't know if you saw, but one of the balls that came over to me landed a little bit short. And because these are some of the first balls we're hitting today, you can see that I didn't kill myself to go and get to the ball off of just one bounce. All right, that's how I've seen players get injured. First of all, they didn't do an off-court warm-up, which we did. We did about 10-15 minutes off-court warm-up. But even with that, in those first few balls, and I've seen coaches who actually insist on that. They like, you know, right away, first ball, don't let the ball bounce twice right away. And the truth is that even if you did do your off-court warm-up and you actually did prepare the right way, you know, go a little bit more progressively, all right? I've seen players injure themselves that way. I'm not talking major injuries and stuff like that, but that's how you get those little nagging things, those little pains in your hamstrings or your calf or your Achilles heel or your wrist or something like that. It's just you're doing a sprint in like the first minute or 90 seconds of you actually hitting the tennis ball. And you know, your body doesn't like that. Let it get accustomed to it. So, you know, if the ball lands a little bit short, let it bounce twice, okay? Let it get to you and then hit the ball back. Another reason I like to do that is that because what happens when you run after that really short ball and you go after it super fast to try and get to it because you only want to let the ball bounce once, right? Well, you get to a ball and then you're going to have a harder time controlling that ball. Harder time controlling that ball means that you might not place it well on the other side, and then again, the rhythm of the rally gets all disrupted and lost, all right? So, you know, once you're feeling good at it, go after the ball in one bounce too, exactly, you know, because you don't want to be that player who's playing and who's just kind of, you know, whose footwork is just, who looks asleep basically when they're playing, okay? But don't worry if in those first few balls, you let a ball bounce twice every once in a while, where you let that ball get into a strike zone and you know that you can control it back in a way that's going to help the other player then send you the ball back, and then you get that back and forth, you get that rally. And again, rallies equal rhythm, all right? And when you get into rhythm with your game, you're going to benefit more from your practice and you're going to perform better in your matches, okay? So take that into thought. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if there's any topics or anything like that you'd like to see me cover, I'll go ahead and try and get a video out there for you, okay? Catch you next time.